So a Minecraft movie garnered nearly $320 million at the box office worldwide for Warner Brothers over its opening weekend, and it's looking to actually double that amount throughout the next week or two, potentially reaching $1 billion at the box office worldwide throughout its entire run in the theaters. I'm saying it has the potential. Realistically speaking, it may top off around $850 million worldwide. We'll have to wait and see, but there's a lot of critics toward this film based on what was going on with this movie, based on the lore, the source material, some things that may have not been done accurately. Jack Black had quite a number of things to say when it came down to the critics. This is Mike Zero. Subscribe if you're new and like this video to see future updates. You can also follow me at Mike01. I thank you also very much for the great and kind support. Now look, I will be honest, I'm not the target audience when it comes to a Minecraft movie. It's something that I thought was just really not a thing for me. I think that a lot of people out there will say the same exact thing, that it just wasn't for them. I mean, when you look at this movie in isolation, it's Jack Black being Jack Black. That's to be expected. But look, who am I to say that this movie is really not for everyone out there, right? It's making money, and that's something that should really be acknowledged. It's something that should be addressed. And that's just that. However, Jack Black, we know that he does have some kind of a temper when it comes to critics, and he has said some quite dumb things before in the past. I mean, when it came to politics, when it came to his view on politics, and that's just, you know, something that lost a lot of people out there, including myself. But this movie in isolation, look, it's nothing like it's Snow White. It's nowhere near abysmal to what Snow White did by the Walt Disney Company. But looking at Jack Black here, and how he's really going at it, and hitting back at the critics, let's discuss about this. Now, with Warner Brothers celebrating the success of a Minecraft movie since it gained $300 million plus at the box office during its opening weekend, to this day, there are still mixed reviews between both critics that are actually representing trades and diehard fans. And as the press tour begins to hit its peak for a Minecraft movie, Jack Black recently hit back at the critics, labeling Minecraft as one of the worst films they have ever seen. Now, Black delivered the following. Look, man, I think the reason why we are having so much success right now is that moviegoers have been starving for some fun in the theaters for a very long time. But to see critics giving us a bad rep about what we did with this story, I think it just is so ridiculous, man. I think it's just coming from a terrible place. People obviously don't understand this widely popular game known as Minecraft. We follow the source material very closely as much as possible, and the lore. We also made sure that this was going to be as accurate as possible for the dedicated and loyal fans of Minecraft. So I don't really want to hear from critics and disgruntled fans that we didn't follow the lore or the source material. It's just ridiculous at how people nitpick at everything. I mean, hey, we got one thing going for this film. It's not political, right? Am I right? So that's something. Nah, we don't need that in Minecraft. But I think critics, whether they are from the trades or it's coming from disgruntled fans, they just have no clue what they are criticizing. You really have to understand the game to its core. You just have to. I mean, I have clocked in so many hours myself playing this thing before we started filming, and even during, honestly. So guys, let me just stop here about what Jack Black is saying. Now, again, he does get very defensive when it comes to critics. I mean, he's done this before in the past with the Jumanji films. Not a big shocker there. But look, he has said some ridiculous comments, politically speaking, before in the past, that's for sure. But looking at this movie in isolation, let's be real, there's no denying the fact that it is indeed a box office success. It was never going to be nearly bad at all as Snow White by Disney. And I kind of find it very funny that a Minecraft movie like this literally eclipsed the Snow White box office results by the Disney company, and it's exactly why Bob Iger over at Disney is getting very defensive about competition, about how a movie like this is really just swallowing the box office for Snow White. He goes on to allude further, I still get the criticism of how Steve appears in our film, and I just don't understand that side coming at all from the critics. This is a live-action adaptation with some animated elements in the mix, so of course Steve is going to be human. Like, come on, how hard is it for anyone to even understand that? Getting to work with Jason, he's talking about Jason Momoa, getting to work with Jason has been the thrill of a lifetime. People keep poking fun at his appearance in this movie. I think he looks rad. So the critics should just shut it. We live in a culture now where fans get so easily disgruntled if you do anything different when turning it into live action. As I pointed out, Critics, whether they are representing trades or they are coming from pure fans, they really have no clue what they are talking about when things don't match the game. You have to make adjustments for a live-action adaptation. It's only logical to do so. But the people criticizing this movie and making claims that they walked out of the cinema, it's not a good message to fellow young audiences out there. Just stop that already. Let people be entertained. The negative waves need to be dialed down like now. Now, again, what I have to say about Jack Black here before I move on, I'm not a fan of Jack Black lately. I never really was from the get-go, but in the early days, I really never had a real problem with him until he made a lot of crazy political comments out there that were just so out of whack. That's when I truly lost respect for the guy. But again, as I pointed out earlier, looking at this movie in isolation, it's a wild success, alright? It has something going for it, and it's most likely going to lead to sequels. And we already discussed about how WB, they're trying to expand a Minecraft movie into a mega franchise. We know that they're trying to do that as well with other video game adaptations. That's just the thing that they are going for right now. So, look, we know that there are going to be basically a new trend, alright? There's going to be a new trend rising, and it already is beginning to rise, where you have video game adaptations really taking over the superhero films. And I think that the superhero era is beginning to actually decline. We'll have to see if it does make a comeback, but I see these video game adaptation films, whether it's from Nintendo or whether it's from any other thing that has been made before in the past, such as, of course, in this case, you have a Minecraft movie, which is totally different. But he goes on to close by stating, "This is a time of celebration for the theater experience. I don't think I'm going anywhere, guys, so get used to it, haha. Steve will be forever in your mind. The critics will always just be that, critics. But it's important to educate yourself before spreading bad word of mouth for something that is so accurate to the most popular game out there." Now look, some fans out there, they've had their own argument, they've made their own claims, and with valid claims out there, that there are things in this movie that aren't really all that accurate to how it is represented in the game. And for Jack Black to get very defensive about that and to say that everything is perfect, I think is also a little bit out of line there. But again, this movie, I wasn't really interested in it. That's just how I am. That's just how I saw the film. I know a lot of people out there walked out on this movie that gave it a shot, but obviously, look, this is a movie for dedicated, hardcore, loyal Minecraft fans. And even there's a percentage of those that are ticked off about this movie. There are, of course, those that have differing opinions about the film. But one thing is for certain is that we have, yes, as he mentioned, critics representing the trades. They absolutely destroyed this movie. They don't like it at all one bit, and I think that's why he's getting very angry about this thing. Again, I'm not defending Jack Black by any means. I'm not a fan of the guy at all. I lost a lot of respect for this guy months and months ago after what he said several times when it came to politics, and how he just dragged that into his career. But again, when you look at this movie, this is wildly successful. I think that you're going to see this thing bumping up to 600 million plus with its second weekend run. So anyway, I would like to hear what everyone has to say about all this below in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel, and I will catch you guys later.